Hello, everyone. Welcome to Backyard Musings, broadcasting live from Apple Valley. I'm Steve.
I'm Scott.
Thank you for joining us today. This morning, residents living near major airports exposed to high levels of aircraft noise may face a significantly higher risk of serious heart conditions, reveals a UCL study. The research, I don't know what UCL stands for. I didn't dig into that. The research
It mentions it. It's something University
University of
College London.
It's in Britain, I think, or
London.
United Kingdom.
Yeah, it's mentioned later on in the
Okay.
article.
All right. The research, which involved heart imaging of individuals from airport adjacent areas, and I wonder if that was done using an AI chip on their computers, found that they found that elevated noise levels can lead to stiffer heart muscles and poorer heart function, particularly due to nighttime exposure, which disrupts sleep and elevates stress. Now, I got a story for this, and all my peeps who have been deployed to Bagram Air Base or LSA Anaconda, Balad Air Base in Iraq. Tell us in the comments how many times you got woke up by an F-22 screaming in the middle of the night, taking off, and you're like, what the heck? Really loud.
So I was going to say, does it have to be this kind of loud, or could it be people that frequented rock concerts or were musicians that played loud music? Or
yeah, but like if you're living next to an airport, it's like 50 times a day, and then at night probably not as much. But I mean, coming in, leaving, coming in, leaving.
Yeah, all night, right? I mean,
yeah, every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the study, published January 8th in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, analyzed detailed heart imaging data from 3,635 individuals residing near 4 major airports in England. Would you like to know more?
So what is with this number here? Did they pick 4,000 people and then 365 said, I ain't doing it? I mean, I don't know. How do they do that? How do they come up with that number?
Yeah, that's like 10% of, I don't know.
I don't know. That's weird how they come up with these numbers. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so people living near airports and exposed to high levels of aircraft noise may face a greater risk of poor heart function, which can increase the chances of heart attacks, life-threatening irregular heart rhythms, and strokes, none of which are good.
Right.
Finding comes from a new study led by researchers at the University College London, UCL. Researchers compare the heart health of participants living in areas with high aircraft noise levels to those in quieter neighborhoods, uncovering significant differences linked to noise exposure. They found that those who lived in areas with higher than recommended aircraft noise levels had stiffer and thicker heart muscles that contracted and expanded less easily and were less efficient at pumping blood around the body, which we all know.
Good.
That's the important thing, right? We need that.
That's like kind of like living right underneath power lines, like they say, don't do it. Just as caustic, I guess.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
This was especially the case for people exposed to higher aircraft noise at night, potentially due to factors such as impaired sleep and the fact that people are more likely to be at home at night and therefore exposed to the noise. It reminds me, Bagram Air Base, it was so loud, your eardrums are just pounding from this aircraft taking off on the runway. Our quarters were right next to the runway, like 10 feet away from the runway, I mean, the runway was out in the middle of the airfield, so I should say 10 meters from the airfield.
Yeah, so I grew up here in the high desert pretty much. I moved here almost 61 years ago, and George Air Force Base was an active training base, and they flew all the time, night, day, and some people didn't like that. They were annoyed by it. My dad used to say that, when those planes stop flying, then that's going to be a concern. And again, that was back in the Vietnam days, and it was annoying at times, but the part of their flight pattern was almost right over my elementary school. when they were coming in or leaving.
Oh yeah.
And it rattled the buildings, man. I mean, it was
Wow.
it was cool. Sometimes depending on what teacher I had, we'd go outside and watch. So yeah,
Let's bring the kids out and watch the airplane land.
yeah. So, and they used to have some really cool air shows out there too. So military air shows, unlike the ones here at the airport that we have now. So, but anyway.
The researchers found in separate analyses of people not exposed to aircraft noise that these types of heart abnormalities could result in 2 to 4-fold increased risks of a major cardiac event such as a heart attack, life-threatening heart rhythms, or stroke when compared to the risk of persons without any of these abnormalities.
Senior author Dr. Gabby Kaptur from the UCL Institute of Cardiovascular Science and consultant cardiologist at the Royal Free Hospital in London said, quote, "Our study is observational, so we cannot say with certainty that high levels of aircraft noise cause these differences in heart structure and function. However, our findings add to a growing body of evidence that aircraft noise can adversely affect heart health and our health more generally. Concerted efforts from government and industry are needed to reduce our exposure to aircraft noise and mitigate its impact on the health of millions of people who live close to airports or under flight paths." I mean, that's a lot of people.
A lot of people. Yeah. So Professor Anna Hansel from the University of Leicester added, quote, "We are concerned that the type of abnormalities we saw with nighttime aircraft noise might result in increased risk of heart problems and stroke. Aircraft noise at night has been shown to affect sleep quality, and this may be an important factor affecting health. The role of noise on heart health is certainly under investigation. However, there are many established ways to look after your heart. These include eating a healthy and balanced diet, keeping physically active, my doctor keeps telling me this, maintaining a healthy weight, giving up smoking if you smoke, don't have to worry about that, reducing alcohol consumption, don't have to worry about that." But we did do a segment on how alcohol is causing cancer. It's hurting our bodies. We did a segment on that.
Yeah.
Keeping conditions such as high blood pressure and diabetes under control, and taking medication, including cholesterol-lowering drugs, if prescribed by your doctor, end quote.
As well as affecting sleep, noise from our environment can trigger stress responses and lead to an overactivation of the sympathetic nerve system, the network of nerves that controls our fight or flight response, causing blood pressure to rise, arteries to constrict or dilate, and slower digestion. It can also cause release of cortisol, the stress hormone, which can increase the appetite and cause weight gain. Aircraft noise may be more annoying from road or more annoying. Holy cow. Aircraft noise may be more annoying than road or rail noise because of loud but intermittent noise events and the unpredictability of the sound, which makes it difficult to get used to. Yeah, depending on the plane, right? I mean, it 747, I don't know, probably not as noisy landing and taking off as, say, like you just mentioned, an F-22 or some fighter jets that are just blasting off.
It's loud, and I'd like our veterans here who have been, overseas in combat at air bases to, like Twerp. I'd like her to comment on these noises just to give everyone else a feel for, what it's like, because it is loud. And even the engines for these trains, those big diesel locomotives, they're loud too.
Yeah, but again, once they get past you, I mean, I've been probably too close than you should be to a railroad track when trains go by, and it's loud for a little bit, but then once they get past, it's not that big a deal. But
that's the Doppler effect.
Yeah, you can hear planes, right? I mean, if you look up in the sky, you hear the noise, but you don't see the plane. And then you see it come over. But I'm also thinking about people that are working on the tarmac, right? These guys people that are
loading the baggage, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, are these guys
Directing.
you see directing the planes? I forget what do they call them? Flight control.
Wing walkers.
Wing, is that what they call them? The guys that
Wing
are out
walkers, yeah.
directing the pilots and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they got headphones on, but holy cow, that can't be that sound deadening. So anyway, all right.
Where yours or mine?
I think it's yours.
Okay, it's already known that exposure to high levels of aircraft noise is linked to higher blood pressure and obesity. In the new studies, both factors were found to account for a significant portion of the link between aircraft noise and differences in heart structure and function. First author, Dr. Christian Toprachanu, UCL Institute of Cardiovascular Science, explained between a quarter and half of the links was attributed to the higher BMI, body mass index, among participants exposed to higher levels of aircraft noise, while between 9% to 30%, 36% of the link was attributed to these participants having higher blood pressure. This was among those exposed to daytime aircraft noise only.
Maybe that could be attributed to oh geez, my script just went dead. Where are we at here?
You said maybe it can be contributed to. We're at other factors that could be triggered.
There we go. I'm talking about somebody that has a spouse that's on the loud side. Yeah, we don't want to go there. Other factors that could be triggered by the stress response to aircraft noise include impaired sleep, inflammation, atherosclerosis, which is buildup of fats and cholesterol and other substances in our arteries. Not good. For the new study, researchers looked at data from the UK Biobank of, again, here we go, 3,635 participants who had detailed magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, of the heart and who lived near Heathrow, Gatwick, Birmingham, or Manchester airports. So imagine, pretty busy.
They use United Kingdom Civil Aviation Authority estimates of aircraft noise level for every 100 square meters within those areas. Higher aircraft noise was defined as over 50 decibels on average during the day and 45 decibels on average during the night, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. This is louder than the aircraft noise limits of 45 decibels on average during the day and 40 decibels on average at night, recommended by the World Health Organization. Among the UK Biobank participants in these areas, 8% lived in an area with high daytime aircraft noise, with 3% in an area with high nighttime noise.
Comparing the hearts of individuals in higher and lower aircraft noise areas, the researchers took into account a wide variety of factors that might have skewed the results, including age, sex, BMI, socioeconomic status, lifestyle factors such as whether participants smoked and exercised, as well as participants' exposure to road and rail noise and air pollution. Heart MRIs were done at least 3 years after the estimates of aircraft noise in the participants' neighborhoods. This is a long study that. Participants who stayed in a higher aircraft noise area, the researchers found, had about 10 to 20% worse heart structure and function than their counterparts in these areas who moved away.
Right about now in this broadcast, you're probably drifting away into sleep. Like, what does this really matter to me? Stay with us to the end.
Yeah, hopefully you're not near an airport.
The research team then looked at a separate sample of 21,360 people who had detailed MRI scans of the heart as part of the UK Biobank study to investigate how heart abnormalities compared to those linked to higher aircraft noise might affect the risk of a major adverse cardiac event. They concluded that a hypothetical individual with these heart abnormalities may have up to 4 times the risk of an event such as a heart attack, abnormal heart rhythm, or stroke.
Earlier research led by the University of Leicester estimated that about 5% of adults in England were exposed to aircraft noise exceeding 50 decibels either during the day or night. Professor James Lepper, Associate Medical Director at the British Heart Foundation, said, quote, "For most of us, A plane is seen as a ticket to some well-deserved rest and relaxation. But this innovative study reveals the potential and visible impact for those living close to some of our biggest travel hubs. While observational studies like this can't prove cause and effect, these findings add to previous research showing the damaging impact of noise pollution on our heart health. Further research will be needed to investigate the longer-term effects of aircraft noise on the health of those with the highest exposure. Again, those people, living next to it, but man, if you're working, I don't know, these guys probably work 8-hour days, I would guess. Most people that are working at the airport, you're getting banged on all day. So
yeah, for my side hustle, I install generators, and I see a lot in the specs. It's calling for 73 decibels at 21 feet. So they don't want to hear more than 71 at 21 feet. So that costs money to get that sound enclosure over the generator.
And so the higher the decibel, the lower the sound.
No, more decibel, more sound.
Decibel, more sound.
Yeah, so they mitigate that by putting an enclosure, and then they insulate the enclosure so that the sound can't. And depending on level 1 enclosure, level 2, level 3 sound enclosure, it's how much you want to mitigate. But I see that all the time in my side hustle. Yep.
Gotcha.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us on this very interesting study of the heart.
If you live near an airport, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Talk to us. We like your comments. We really do.
Yeah. So.
All right, folks. All right. See you later.
Tomorrow. Take care.
Yep. Enjoy your Sabbath. Right?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Bye.